So it's a funny day today. While I have on my left, well, that's right for you. Anyway, um, Oliver Lueiza from Chile, from Santiago, Chile, is here with us today. It's funny, and you can see me a bit animated because right about 30 seconds ago, up to 30 seconds ago, I had an internet outage and I was connected to StreamYard through my cell phone. And as I was about to start the stream, and we had everything set out for Oliver to do the intro and host the whole show and all that. And then, yeah, this is it's insane. Right on the hour. So welcome everybody to a special treat today because we have someone very close to my heart with us. Oliver is above everything. He's one of my best friends. He's also an extremely good creative director, and he is also a Cinema 4D master trainer, and he's also extremely good looking, just like me. So, so welcome everybody. I'm going to check the chats to first of all the comments to see. Oh, there. Okay, everyone is here. Fantastic. So let me just first of all, I'm going to be in the background, checking things out. Now I have to reschedule because there was no plan for housekeeping and all that. Oliver, I would like you to introduce yourself and your work. And that's enough from me. People, just type question capitalized. I've got a banner for this. Banner is capitalized. Question. If you have any questions, type that before. Ask your questions. And Oliver.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm super glad to be here. I'm honored to be with my dear friend Thanasis, aka Noseman. He probably he know this, but he has a really big fandom over here on our studio. So as soon as he touched this country, at some point, everyone is going to praise him like a rock star or something like that. But he has a huge fandom over here. So well, my name is Oliver Lueiza. I'm the executive creative director at Believe Studio. We're a studio that are mainly focused on character animation, which is really interesting. Thinking in that we use Cinema 44 a lot of our work. But today I'm going to show you a lot of things, special things I think related with the workflow that we have, which is an hybrid kind of workflow. And we use Cinema 40 as our hub. We gather all the information that we produce in different DCCs coming into Cinema 4D, and we think that we do a very good job doing animated films for advertising. So yeah, I don't know if I have to share my screen already, this one. Great. So as I said, we are Believe Studio, and today I'm going to talk about a very special project with a Supercell product, which is Clash Royale. And I put the title Navigating the Perfect Storm with Cinema 4D. And this is because, as a lot of projects in advertising, this was actually a perfect storm. Super uh, tiny kind of time frame to do this, like a very tight deadline, a lot of technical things that we need to tackle, a lot of creative things that we need to tackle. So a lot of pressure into the team that is making this at that moment. So I'm gonna tell you about that story, the whole context, and obviously we're going to go to Cinema 4D at some point. So let's get started. So this project should not have worked, and yet it did. And why? So I'm Oliver Lueiza. I'm not going to introduce myself again, but I do have to say that I have been working this a lot of time. Right now, are 16 years working on the 3D animation and especially in advertising. And I work in Believe Studio, which is an award-winning animation studio based in Santiago de Chile. But we mainly work for the US. Okay, so this is our reel. Hope you like it.
we do not have sound for some reason. So I can do some sound effects, but it's gonna destroy
It's
the
not. It's
experience.
not with audio.
No, there's
It's not
no
with
audio.
audio. Yeah, it is my
I
fault.
don't
I
know.
need to turn on something on this. Let me see. Probably is it.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
do. No,
Let me see. Let me see if I can play it from a different. From a different.
you need to
Just
share a
one
system
moment.
audio. I
I Yeah, but I don't know
share
if
system audio.
is on our share visual effects.
Nose
Here
music.
on. I need to do it here, right? Share is my background. Stereo audio.
I don't know.
I don't know if I have to do it in the streaming software or on my presentation.
No, no. I think it's not the streaming software. You need to make sure that your computer is sharing your computer audio uh, with whatever your output device is. But at the end of the day, I know you can post the link to your website.
Yeah,
They can
yeah,
see
yeah.
the reel over there, and I will promise I'm going to refrain from making special effects, audio effects, unless people
Okay,
want them.
I'm gonna put the wheel over there on the link at some point. But that is an important thing because I want to show the whole film right now. So without audio, it's not going to make any sense. So how
Okay.
can we fix this? Let me just, I don't know. You can tell a joke or something. Let me.
Oh, no, I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm
Yeah.
going to share. I'm gonna share this, and this is the character. So Oliver was kind enough to send me the character and as an Alembic file. And what I'm going to do, you keep going with your audio and see if you can find something that says share system audio or in your, I don't know how these things work. What I can do here, of course, is go and show you people how you would go about taking an Alembic file and adding something like this. Okay, so I'm going to go here and just open this. Okay, it's going to say, yeah, I want to open it with the same name. So this is the raw Alembic file that Oliver's team made. Okay, so it's just a looping animation. It's going to go on and on and on forever. This dude never
Mhm.
gets tired. Now, what you will see is that these are still generators. And a couple of things about the Alembic file is when you see the little white A's, that means that the animation is interpolatable, right? You can see interpolation. That means that there are, let me mute Oliver for a second because his keyboard is very loud. So, and what happens is that it can calculate properly all the motion blur and all that. But there's not much we can do because these are generators. I can't go and select polygons and stuff like that. But there's a solution. If you select everything and you press C, yes, make editable. C. What this does is it creates generic um, meshes and applies the Alembic data through an Alembic tag. And you get exactly the same thing, but now it applies it as a modification, which is just the point positions for every frame, and everything else is the same. Which means that you can remove something. You can go to this dude here, go and select his head. Let's do a loop selection and select a fill selection, and you can go and add hair. So let's go and add some hair quickly, and then I'm gonna talk to Oliver because we should not forget for his body and so forth. Let's make sure that his body here. So let's go select the body, press S to find it here, right click, go to hair, set it as a hair collider. And last but not least, let's go give this guy a nice little haircut. So you go to simulate all the hair things here, tools. This is nice. It's got combs and all that. I mean, if anything else, just do this. It's fun. It's fun. There we go. And let's see if we can kind of move these away from his sword. I mean, I know this is silly because the sword doesn't appear to be a collider. I can make it a collider, actually. Let's go and take this and make this a collider as well. Right click, here, collider. Da, 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 da. So let's do this. And there he is, running. Fantastic. Let me bring back Oliver. Oliver, what's the status?
Yeah, I sent you the videos. It's the shortest way to do it. And in the
Oh,
meantime, I can keep going. Okay, so
you
if you
sent
want
me.
to, yeah,
All right. So I am gonna download the video, or I'm gonna
yeah,
go here. Oh, um, everyone hears my music, so I can go
yes,
and
I will.
download it now. I can download it. I need to find a way.
Let me do a brief introduction of what happened in this one. This is like the narrative that the client was asking us to tell. In this case, I mean everyone knows this game. Like it's a game, a mobile one, and the idea here is that there's a lot of copycats game copying actually the original Clash Royale. A lot of different copycat games that copy almost everything, even in some ways the aesthetic of this, but also the gameplay, everything. So at some point, a lot of people is playing the the same game, kind of the same game, but not the original one. So the idea here is to grab those gamers and into the original one with this campaign. So the idea with the characters are that was that they are going to go to this different copycat universe to bring the gamers into the original one. That is the whole thing, and that is going to be through awards, through different ways to maybe compensate the people which is playing not the original game, and they're not having the original and the ultimate experience of playing these things. So that is the backstory of the film that we did. And if you can play it right now, it would be great. We're almost there, guys. Hang on.
We're almost there. We're almost there. Almost there. Show something on your screen.
Yeah, yeah,
Open
yeah.
Cinema 4D or something.
So
Don't show any
I'm
NDA
gonna
stuff.
no. I'm gonna go directly to the brief. So before to look at the project, the brief was this is an animated full animated project. It's 60 second full CG in 8 weeks. 8 weeks is a short amount of time to work on this kind of stuff, especially if you are looking for a very uh, high visual expectation, which is the other part. The reality is that we were dealing with multiple universe that we need to build, design, all that stuff. We did everything in this case. Our studio goes from the very uh, pre-production stuff like art, concept environments and characters, right all through the whole process, like until the composition and the color grading. So high visual expectation, extreme time pressure because it was a very tight deadline, and also this is an important thing. The script was still open, not that they are going to change the whole thing, but still some things will change in the middle of that process. So it was a time bomb. That's why I put some bombs. You need to see that is the inside of this slide. So you need to build strategy from an ECD perspective. You need to know how, who, and when is going to do this. You need to make key decisions on the overall process. You need to work on the focus, or where are you going to put the focus in this case, and how are you going to control the issues that are going to happen, or the inevitable challenges that you are going to have. For instance, technical issues or misalignments within your team or with the client. That kind of stuff are going to happen in a project like this one, which is have a very time pressure. And also, technically, you need to think about how we are going to do this. And believe, because of the workflow based on Alembic, has a very, very fast pace, a very good speed. on
Okay.
that. So yeah, without further ado, as one friend of mine said always,
All
we
right. Is everyone ready?
yeah.
Let's see. Insane.
There you
Right.
go. That's our review.
Insane.
Let's watch the
The
project.
Clash Royale.
Yeah.
Right. I want to see comments, everyone. Come on. I want to see hearts. I want to see comments. Awesome. Come on. Let's hit it up a notch. Right. Let's bring it up a notch. Let's see.
What the fake? A knockoff Clash Royale? Fake witch? Fake goblin? Fake me?
He used his hands! Space Royale. And what are those? Advertisements. Not for long. Time to go home. Take me with you!
This is like looking in a broken mirror.
Oh, they followed us.
Can you blame them? At least they brought their loot.
Oh, my Lord. We have a few questions, Oliver.
Mhm.
How how's that possible in 8 weeks?
It's almost impossible, but I'm gonna try to explain. I'm gonna focus actually on facing this reality because at the point that the animation was done or locked, we could say, the look dev team, which is in charge of making this looking great at some point, has only 4 weeks to work on everything, basically texturing, effects, make the whole environment get into life. You know, the crowd, all that stuff need to be done in just 4 weeks. So, um, talking about that and summarizing that, we need to go from this, which is the animation team gives you this in an Alembic file, just as you shown before. Okay, so but the only difference is that it's not only a cycle, it's not only a running loop, it's the whole scene. Okay, every character is already animated. A lot of things happens in the middle, like R&D, for instance. Sometimes we did in the loop department, we did a lot of effects, as you did with the hair. You know, it's like that kind of stuff is going into Cinema 4D, but the base mesh animated comes from Maya in this case. It's other DCC, and we built a lot of different tools to make this relationship really fast. So we need to go from that to this, in just 4 weeks. So how do we do that? Let's go into the next slide. Well, the look dev workflow is the thing that we're going to talk about. The scope is the look development, talking about texturing, the lighting, light all the scenes. You need to work on that as well. The effects like smoke, fire, I don't know, particles, the grass, all that stuff, and the render. You know, then everything is going to go through Redshift, of course, with different AOVs to the compositing team. So, how is the overall workflow or part of the workflow here? We have Cinema 4D in the center of our workflow. It's our hub. We gather a lot of information from other softwares to Cinema 4D, which is something that I'm really happy to do that, and also confident to do that, because Cinema 4D has a very good, we could say, import engine. I don't know if there's a more technical name for that, but we can manage a lot of different formats. In this case, we work with ABC, which is the Alembic one, BDBs for volumes and liquid and fluids and smoke fire. Sometimes we work with, for instance, another DCCs like Embergen or LiquidGen, because one key part of our studio is to give the artist the fastest way possible to do certain things. And not long time ago, we didn't have a proper fluid simulation system inside Cinema 4D, but right now we have one. So we are always looking at what we can do in Cinema 4D, because it's the hub. So it's better to have everything inside. But if we don't have something, or we are sometimes we have a very experimental artist in LiquidGen, we try to keep that until the point we are sure that everything is going to be even fast. Okay, so same with Xparticles, ZBrush, Marvelous. That's the ecosystem that we have right now in Cinema 4D. So we're going to focus on this relationship with animation and the look depth part, which is an ADC workflow. Okay, so an Alembic, you explain it like visually, but it's an open file format that stores baked 3D data in geometry, animation, simulations. It's independent of rigs and hierarchies or deformers. So that is a good thing. And I already mentioned what it does. What it matters is because you usually, what you are seeing on your screen is the thing that you have, nothing else. Same as you presented with your example with the hair. You're not having like skin deformers inside, or weight maps, or that kind of stuff, or joints. That is not the thing that we need to work on that. And why we use it is because it's faster. It's a clean handoff between teams, between the animation team and our team. Remember that we have the whole pipeline here in at Believe, from the art to rigging to model to animation is the whole pipeline. So we have different teams hand off this data between them. Okay, and at the end you have one single source of truth. So if everything happens in the middle, you can go directly to the master Alembic that one team or the other is exporting. So this is an example of an Alembic, the same that you show. I visualize the wireframe on purpose, because I want to just make sure you guys that the Alembic file is just data. It's just points moving, just polygon moving on the space and time. It's nothing else than that. So we can work with that. Why Cinema 4D? Why this software is our hub? And I think that there's a three key important things. We have control, flexibility, and reliability. We need to make sure that our software is going to be properly updated. In a year, you need some updates, you need fixes. So we know that Maxon, and especially you, my friend Noseman, is taking a look, is overseeing everything. If something is broken, if something could be improved, you're going to do that. And I know, because I'm part of that community, a lot of people is working on that. So it's the reliability of Cinema 4D for me is a very important thing, especially in a big studio like this one. Then flexibility and control. Those two parts are more related with the artist, and I'm going to show that in a minute. So this is what I call the Cinema 4D nature. This is not an official term or something, but I think that is worth to explain why I think as an ECD we have this workflow. We have generators. Usually they're green. That is the color of generators. And the generators just generate data from a polygonal object, for instance. You can generate more data. You can generate more things from that. Then you have the deformers over here, which deform the data or can change the data in some way. Then you have the fields. So you can control the influence of that data with fields. And this works in a very like a fluid way. So you can go back and forth with this relationship. You can have a generator, and then you can have a deformer. And I'm going to show you that in a minute with a example. but you can go back and forth. So you are able to do a lot of different things, creative things with a format as an ABC, because it's pure data and you can manage data, right? So what if we mix Alembic with this kind of Cinema 4D nature? And this is the same example that you showed. And I did an exercise time ago with the look development team. At that time, I don't remember if 6 or 7 people took the challenge, because everyone was working at that point. But I said to my team, okay, guys, I have this Alembic file. I need to make a presentation for my dear friend Noseman and Maxon. Why you don't take this and make something nice? Just play with generators, play with deformers, have some fun with this. And within an hour, these guys start to play with this little barbarian. And this is a fun exercise, but also a very interesting one if you think this in a kind of scaling perspective. Think about this in the same way that you are thinking into a whole shot. You can do a lot of different stuff. You can see that everything here is procedural. I mean, it's the same base. We're not changing anything. We're not asking to modeling or the guy in the effects or the guy in rigging to do something else. For instance, one, he has this armor, fully procedural. The two is a skinny guy with a brush hair or something. Look like you, actually, knows.
That's what I was trying to wait for you to pause. Number actually, 2 is my spirit animal. Number 2, that's me running around with a brush.
Yeah, but you have the 3 one is like a bubble head or balloon head. The 4 is something that we did. We do a lot. It's changing the proportion of some of the characters when you need to make something or emphasize something on a shot. Sometimes we deal with that directly on the look department. We don't need to ask to the animation team. So you have a cape, you have a particles, and this is not here. This is not finished yet. We have some pyro effects in the 8. Some of the guys just make the guy explode like a piñata or something like that. In 9, it's something similar to what you did, actually. 10, our plot engine working very nice. Probably that barbarian is naked down that shit, but we're not going to find out today. And you have the voxelization on 12, and so on. So this is the way, or this is why, in a very simplistic way, why we use Cinema 4D. Because we can do this kind of stuff if your artist is creative enough. These are my favorite 2. One of the guys made this golem, which is awesome. And I immediately asked him, how did you do this? And he showed me it wasn't that hard. You need to obviously know the tools, but it's looking very, very well. I mean, you can see even the movement between the stones that we have in that golem. And we are taking, remember, just the data that we have from the beginning, the data that Noseman already shown. Okay, so
I would say, right. So if I were to do this just as I see it, some sort of Voronoi fracture, then cloth, then mix animation, and basically that will be the beginning, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Voronoi fracture and the cloth. I don't remember if it was cloth of the collision with the not the smooth deformer with a relaxed setup or something like that. But yeah, the thing is that if you have a good artist, as we have here, they start to put, for instance, this guy put even grass or that kind of vegetation on top of the golem. It was really nice. So
fantastic.
This is sorry about that. This is a little breakdown of one of the shots because people like breakdowns. I'm gonna show a breakdown because it's nice and you can see a lot of different effects. We have lining, grass, debris, this whole portal thing happening in the sky. Everything was composed in Nuke. We have very talented team working on that as well. So that was one of the shots. And
one thing,
go ahead.
I'd like to comment on something. Can you pause it where it pulls out and shows that the grass? This is something I believe it's one of the most
over here
hidden. If you go further down, when the camera pulls out where it shows the wireframe.
Okay.
What I'd like, all right, look at the grass on the bottom left, everyone.
No,
you do not need to create a whole field of grass and all that. That's why if you are planning your scene with a very specific direction, you can save so much time by not having to build everything behind the scenes, everything outside the camera frustrum. This is the genius of these kind of, uh, uh, let's say, setups, where you do not have to create a whole world just to get a camera and move it around.
Actually, I want to
Brilliant.
point out. I want to point out that this, in the same spirit, this is a new preview, and if you can notice, I mean, we're reprojecting everything. We have of course, right now we have a very fluid workflow because we have learned a lot doing this. Okay, so right now we have a very fluid workflow between each team, and you can see even here this portal thing is it's an actual real mesh inside Nuke coming from Cinema 4D. So it's not only in one way around. We can grab some things built in Cinema 4D, give it to the new team, and they start to build different things. For instance, the whole like portal effect, and let me go right there. The whole portal effect. There's a lot of different particle layers that I didn't make. You can see that. You see, I didn't make that look specifically great on the Cinema 4D, but I can build that in Cinema 4D and then give it to the new team, and they start to make their magic. Okay, so this is a team effort. It's a team endeavor. You know, it's not only you trying to do everything, and if you have creative artists that we have, you can have these kind of things in a very short amount of time. Okay, so talking about that, for me, the artists are the real game changer here, because we talk about the tool, and the tool is amazing, and I'm gonna talk about that a little bit further. But the artist is the real key, because if you teach your team to work in a very creative way in which they can be the solvers of one problem or an issue or an effects, you can have not only one specific team doing the effects, you can have everyone doing things, you know. So that's why I can give a scene to one of my colleagues, and I'm sure that it is going to get through that with a visually striking result. So for me, this is like a baker metaphor. It's a chef working in a magical, or yeah, it's a magical kitchen. You can start your recipe with different ingredients, and then start to put something on top. So we ended up with a cake with strawberries. Okay, but in the middle of the process, you said, okay, let's try with oranges. Okay, I like it, but I'm gonna go with chocolate. And the nice thing here is that you are not spoiling the recipe, which is really nice. In Cinema 4D, that happens. You can turn off and on the generators. You can try everything because you are playing with data. So you can try a lot of different recipes and going back and forth until you have the thing that you want. So if the chef is creative enough, is going to do a lot of different things with this magical kitchen, which is our main tool set kit, which is Cinema 4D. What do we have in Cinema 4D to work on this? We have 30 plus generators, 50 plus deformers, 20 plus effectors, and 30 plus fields. And I don't even mention the node system, which obviously you Noseman knows it very well. I think that we lost Noseman. No, yeah, are you there?
No, no, no.
I
I'm
cannot
here. I'm
see
here.
you. I cannot see you. Okay.
I've taken, I've removed our beautiful faces from the screen so that people can
That's
focus on your presentation.
that's cool.
Because because we both extremely good looking, so I understand the distress caused people.
So that is the thing. That is the thing in our site. This is advice for creative directors. Probably some of the artists that right now are looking at the show are going to become creative directors. And I think that these are three important things that I want to tell you. Stay calm and project confidence. I think that you need to project that to the client and to your team. That is going to set up the whole mood of your workflow in a better way, because this kind of stuff could be very stressful. Second, lead by doing. I think that you can work with your team. I'm the ECD. A lot of things to do during the day, especially meetings with clients and agencies and discussing creative things above the technical things. But because I love the 3D form of art and I love the software, I always try to help my team if they need it. So that is an important thing for ECDs, especially because, sometimes you get in this meeting and you are not seeing actually what is happening under the hood. And I think that if you're aware of that, it's going to be better for your team and for yourself to be on the box, as a friend of mine said. And also try to protect your team. Of course, these productions can be harmful in some way, but if believe us or you in that case, this need to be a goal, try to protect the team from these issues that could happen. Okay, so a final thought, I think that everything worked because the whole team knows how to do, or how they need to do at a certain moment. The animation team, the rigging, the look dev team, they know how to steering this ship, which is a difficult task. If you have been in a ship, not in this one because this is like the old one, but it's a difficult thing to do, and it takes a lot of teamwork to make it work properly. So that is the final thought for that. So thank you, and let's go to the live demonstration of this. Okay, so let me put this down. Okay, one thing that I want to point out in talking about the workflow, as you show Noseman, this is pure data. We have these generators over here, right? We have the body, sort, everything. And this is the thing that the animation team gave us. And we are going to go to the body. And if I want to do any kind of transformation to this model, I can work with the ABC as it is, but I prefer to make it editable, to have access to polygon points and all that stuff. So in this case, I can just press this one, and I'm going to have access to the whole mesh, like in real time. I can modify this. But before to show that, I want to show you one of the things that we developed for this kind of workflow, which is something very interesting. So at some point, you are working in the look depth part. You are working on texture, you are working on how it's going to shading is going to work, and the specific character like the barbarian, right? So you have this. If I go to Redshift, I'm going to render this, and we have already, it's not a viewport rendering. We have already our barbarian done. Okay, so how you connect these two things? Then when you have the overall, let me go to original size fit window. When you have the overall shot, you need to kind of reconnect everything, reconnect the shading that you are doing with the character in T-pose, So this is we could say an OBJ, is a fixed one, but you can bring the other one, which is animated. So we find out, actually, a guy here on team called Sebastian, aka Nox, he developed a tool that is insane. So let's take this barbarian. We already worked on the look depth part, okay? So it's done. The texture is done. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go to my Alembic file, which is came in from the animation team. I'm gonna paste the other one here. So we have the character look. I'm gonna bring it here. So we have the fixed one and the animated one. And I need to paste all these different texture on this guy. So you have kind of the same things over here, but you need to put it over here. So as you can imagine, if you have hundreds of these guys, or if you have a very big scene, that could take a lot of time. So we don't want that. So this guy developed this little tool called Transfer Material. And I'm gonna select both, and I'm just going to say that transfer the material. It's going to open this little window, which is inside Cinema 4D, transfer, and if everything goes well, we have this window, which is in Spanish because we are based on Santiago, but right now, everything is already done. That this is beautiful, because let's make another example. I'm gonna go back, then go like this. I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna put it in a corner just because I want to multiply this guy. So I'm gonna make the example of what happened. I have more than just one barbarian, right? I'm gonna take this instance, I'm gonna put it on a current state object. I'm gonna get rid of the cloner. I have a bunch of different guys over here. And if I, again, select this one, and I go to the transfer material, it should work properly. Okay, closed, and there you go. You have the material. So that is a tool that we developed inside. But you can do this manually. And also you can script this at some point. You can write down a script for Cinema 4D. And we have these kind of tools. If you are asking how we can speed this process, this is one of the tools that we developed. Specifically, this amazing artist called Nox. So with that being said, I can get rid of the rest of these guys. I'm gonna take just one of those and start to make some changes. Let's go to this one. 0, 0. I don't know if you have any question or on the chat, people have any question, but
there's some general questions from slightly earlier. Very quickly, my very good friend Sharon, hello Sharon, asks, how big is your render farm where you render?
if I remember well, last time that I checked, we have like 10 computers as a render farm, and each computer has two graphic cards, a power one, obviously a powerful one, but obviously we are in the process, which always you are updating that. But I think 10 or 12 computers that we have right now rendering, and yeah, they make a lot of noise and also heat. If you enter into that room, you could be burned.
Oh, just like I love that. I love the heat.
Yeah, yeah.
My friend Sorab asks, how many people and for how long did you work from production to release? So the whole thing. So the meeting, the job, you won the pitch,
Yeah.
and then how long was that time frame?
Is 60 people. That is the overall number. 60 people in terms of from. I mean, I know it's the whole pipeline. It's not only look at people.
The whole pipeline. So 60 people for how many weeks?
8 weeks in this case. From the very beginning. I mean, I'm talking about from the storyboard. That is the very, very first point to do. I mean, we need to work on the edit with an editor. We need to produce this with producer. It's everything. But 60 people, and I have to say that not always you are focusing just one project. 60 people, but working in a lot of different things. But you need to layer that stuff in the way that could work. Okay, so going back to this, I'm gonna select the body. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna make it editable. So now I have access to the polygons. Okay. So one thing that I can do, for instance, is a selection. Let's go from here to here. This one, and then let me solo this over here. Probably something like that. So we can press U and F. Field selection. Sorry, I need to also isolate the head. Let me go if I can find a look for that. It's not that easy, but I'm gonna do it by myself, like this. Good. Sorry about that. I'm gonna do this just very, very rough because I want to just show how you can actually, where is the gap? Where's the gap here? Over here. So you need to do this properly, but in any case, I'm having a gap. I'm not finding it. Over here. Okay, so now, if I want to work, for instance, in this armor kind of thing, which is one of the simplest one, I just need to go with the former. Probably the bevel one is a good candidate for this one. Let me go. I always lost the one. In any case, I can go Shift and C, bevel former. Let's go to the body. Again, I'm gonna start that selection. So we have the selection over here. We can go to the bevel, and let's go to the bevel and option, put the selection over here. And I need to make it polygon. There you go. So now this is looking weird, but at the same time, let me go over here. At the same time, you are modifying, looks like Hulk, right? Let me go to the bevel and see where are the polygon extrusion option over here. So the thing is that if you work in this kind of workflow, you can manage to change the body or change the mesh in a very different ways, you know. So I can grab this and start to build a different material for that and make a selection of that and put it in another kind of shading, so you can have already an armor. And also I can work with this because this is still a polygonal object. I can grab this and this, and I'm gonna make a selection here, store selection as well. I'm gonna build a little pyramid like this, maybe make it editable just to put the axis of that over here, okay. And I'm going to go to the cloner. I'm going to clone this pyramid as in object mode. So I'm going to clone the pyramids here. And let's go to the object that we're going to clone of. This is the body. So we have that. So we can go to the distribution polygon center, and I'm going to grab the selection here, put it there. So now we have these pyramids here. Let me align this. Could be here in transform, all the way around, like -90. So again, you just have to build this kind of stuff in this way. So as you can see, I use a deformer, and then I use a generator as a cloner to build this stuff. And right now, you can see that suddenly these guys start to look as a warrior or as a armor kind of barbarian. You can go there again to the body. I'm gonna turn off this one a little bit, and I'm gonna go to solo. What about if you want to make some details on that armor? And if you go to the sketch spline and go to the snap.
Yeah, just a note for
Yeah, go
everyone
ahead.
watching. The gentleman is not naked. He's wearing a skin suit. Okay, that's what I want to say.
Yeah, yes.
If anyone thought he was naked, then yeah, you have to look deep inside yourself.
So let's go to a surface deformer. I have a spline here, right? So if I go to the body of this guy, which is here, whenever you have too much info on the object manager, you can actually duplicate this like this. I always do this because of course the scenes are huge. So this is a better way to do it. So sometimes let's go to object. I'm gonna grab the body here. I'm going to initialize that, and our spline should follow the shape. So I'm gonna take that spline. I'm gonna put it inside a generator called Swift. Let's go to fit that with a circle. Let's do this one, and should work just as fine. So you have, well, I need to here, in that case, I should draw the splines after this and then make the initialization. But the thing is that, let me go here, polygon instruction, I'm gonna put it in 2, and I'm gonna make the circle a little bit bigger. This is pretty rough, but at the same time, if I do this. Well, right now it's not the proper design, but in any case, you can get the point. Like at some point, whoop, for some reason it's not working. Let me see. Something related with, oh, what happened? I need to call the Noseman. Is the bevel vector? Ah, you see. Well, in any case, if you're happy with that, for instance, if you're happy with this, and for some reason it's not working with the rest of the deformers or whatever, you can always do the following. You can go either two ways. You can go to a connect object and connect this thing here. Usually that solves all sort of problem. Also, you have to uncheck the weld, and you can probably, let's see, this is going to work right now. We go here, here, surface over here. We have here. Let's see if this can be pasted on the connect object. Should be. So let me go to initialize again. Let's see if it's going to work. And there you go. It's working. You see that you can find some workarounds for doing that. And in any case, if something is not reading it properly, you can always go, as mentioned before, here and press let's go to Becca's Alembic, and you are going to have another Alembic inside your Cinema 4D file, and you can work with that. Talking about that, I have a little breakdown over here, which is the Golem one, which for me is my favorite. So what happened here is if we turn off this and we go to the fracture procedural, as Thanasis guessed,
Yes.
we use a Voronoi fracture, of course. Then we subdivide this, smooth this, so you are having this kind of rocky look, right? Displacer to make them grow again, and a bevel to break a little bit the tangents. So there you go. You have, let's go to the ground shading. You have this. This is the overall look of that golem. Okay, so it's not that difficult because you are just stacking generators on top of deformers and all that stuff. Some of the deformers are already used, but you have the subdivision, smoothing, displacer, and bevel, and you have the kind of almost the final look of this. So then you have to go to this one, which is a polygon reduction of that. And it is, if I remember well, it's not, let me go here. This is the baked one. Okay, so at some point, we took the original one, we reduced the polygons, so you have this kind of faceted look, which is going to look better with the shading that we work later, which is have this kind of rocky look. That's why we build this in a triangle mesh, because you are going to have a better result trying to mimic a stone of a rock. Okay, so then you can have, actually, I'm going to do this slide. You can have the original one. I'm going to copy this, because the question would be, okay, so how can I animate this? Because right now it's just a fixed, right? A fixed mesh. So you can do the same workflow. I mean, you can have this one, which is the decimate one. You can put a surface deformer and go to our body geo, which is the base geo, the Alembic one. You remember that? And we can just put the surface feed with the original geo, initialize. And if everything goes well, I can turn off this one. And but it's not showing anything. Because I'm soloing. There you go. So there you go. Well, let me see, because I think that I didn't initialize in the right way. Yeah, let me go back. Let me go back to the actual pose. Yeah. So now I'm gonna do the thing again. Let me see if everything is good. Let me go and initialize again. Let me see if this is working. Now it's working. Okay, so let's turn off the geo, and you can have this. So you already have the golem going around. So one thing that one of my colleagues do later is to have this kind of sense of delaying thing between the rocks, right? So you can do this in two ways. You can work directly with polygons deformers, or you can go back into a generator kind of workflow. So let's go to the generator one. If I have this, and actually I'm gonna do the whole thing. I'm gonna bake this as an alembic. Let's go here, bake as, let me to the whole timeline. Let's see if I can have the alembic file for that. Okay, so the only thing that is changed here is that we are not processing the surface, okay? But you can do it in that way if you want. The thing is that right now we have different polygon island in this kind of golem thing. So let's go, we can work directly here. If we go to the MoGraph and Voronoi fracture, let's go to the options. I'm gonna get rid of the source points, source over here. We're not going to make more fractures. We just need the same that we already have. So as you can see, the Voronoi fracture automatically just separate the polygon island to each other. So it's recognizing that there's different polygon islands. So now you can go to the, let's see if this works, to the delay. Let's go to the spring. And if I press play, let's see, you see that everything is moving, like you are making this kind of dynamic effect, but it's not a simulation one. So that is a very good thing to have, you know? So, and even if you want to maybe just go to, let's do the following. Let's go to the Voronoi fracture that we are just creating. And let's go to the MoGraph and MoGraph selection. And I'm going to select just the arms, for instance, or some of the pieces of the arms. And I feed this delay effector with this selection. Probably we're going to have just one part of this doing that operation, you know, and you can probably, I don't know, have a random selection with fields. Let's try to do that. Let's go here. I'm gonna clear this, use fields. I'm gonna get rid of the freeze. I'm gonna go directly to the random field, and let's see if this is going to move. Yeah, it's going to move because you can change it here either. I want to use the random, just a random one. So we have some of the selection, some of the rocks already on the selection, other are not on the selection, and this is not going to change because I'm not using the sorted or noise parameter. I'm using the random. I'm just randomization. It's not grabbing a 3D noise to make the selection. So right now, as you can see, I'm just dealing with some of the pieces. I'm gonna get decrease a little bit the effect. So as you can see, the amount of freedom that you have working just with one Alembic file is huge. That's why we can build the whole thing at the speed that we build it, you know, because every artist here, especially the look dev artists, which are in charge of effects and the look development and all this R&D kind of stuff, they can be creative with these kind of tools. That's why we can work faster on this kind of stuff. I don't know if you want to point out something, Thanasis, but I'm going to go to the next step here, just breaking down the whole thing. We have the grass, and then that grass, with the same procedural way, we put everything in a kind of a surface deformer until the point which we have this, even with some grass, the cloner, which are these little rocks that you are looking at there. So you see, obviously, this guy is a talented guy because not only make these technical things, but also he managed to make it nicer and look good. You know, it looks like a golem. It behaves like a golem. Have some grass. Have some little pebbles over there on the face. some of the parts are moving, like you have this kind of friction between the rocks. So this is a brief example of how we work with Cinema 4D as our hub. Any question so far?
Let's take a look. And I have it set up to show using your thing based on a question. So let's look at the question.
You were doing your own stuff, right, Noseman?
Oh yeah,
were,
yeah.
you were listening to me. Why?
What? Oh, were you talking? Sorry. So okay, let me do this quickly. I'm going to remove this and add this. Right. So mostly positive, but for some people this may be sort of a negative. One of the ways there are various ways you can go about doing this, but let's go revert to saved, and I'm just going to load the alembic again. So this is the alembic that you've been showing, and we're going to do some sort of, let's call it a crowd simulation, whatever. So just get a cloner, and you can do whatever setup you want with a cloner. Just drop it in. Now, what we need is 2 versions of this. So I'm going to make a copy of this, and I'm going to do the following. I'm going to set the cloner to be in blend mode, all right? Because the alembics, all these things are properties. So we can do something with these properties, including the interpolation. So middle click. So alembic is a hierarchy of a lot of alembics, multiple alembics. So make sure that if you have a hierarchy, middle click to select everything, and then go. Let's middle click both. So shift middle click and set it to loop. So now we know that it's going to loop before and after. The current one has 300 frames, and now I'm going to go to the second one, middle click, and I'm going to go to the offset and set it to minus 300. So I'm pushing it back by 300 frames. And if I press play now, you will see that it is blending, but the blend is fairly linear. So if I go here and say linear and go and do this, you will see that they're like those dancers. So you can see that it's, let's go back. Whoop, what did I do? 23. I must have done something weird. See that? It's pulsating here. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to go to my, you can if you want to. And all you have to do with whatever number of these guys you have, because you've set your cloner to blend mode, I'm going to control that blend using an effector. And the way to do that is, let's get a plain effector. The parameter we want is down here, and it's called modify clone. This is what controls the amount of blending. And now all of these have the same amount. Just go in here now and add a randomization. And now you have something that looks like a random movement. And you can, maybe there are ways you can create a bunch of these, and with different characters, different people, different speeds, and so forth. But with a limited amount of assets, you can control this. And the way it happens is that if you get a linear field and you run it through, let me turn off the color, you will see that we can move them using the field. And it does the 300 frames of animation from 0 to 1. There we go. So that's how you go about doing something like that. The unfortunate thing is it doesn't work with render instances and or with multi-instances. And the thing is, because multi-instance, basically, if you make this editable, it will create one object, which is all this, and then instances of the rest. That's why it won't work, because the in-between data doesn't exist anymore for the cloner to do its job. And yeah, that's how you would go about doing something like this. And there are other ways as well. Orestes, my friend Orestes Constantinides, years ago, he created an animation where he used one clone per frame. So in this case, your loop, while it shows 300, is 30. What is the full loop? It's, yeah, 28, 30, about 30 frames. So he created 30 versions of this. And then it becomes a totally different story to control which frame is with each one of those. Anyway, that's what I have. I'm going to remove this and add yours back to the stage.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we have other questions, because I can keep going on with this kind of stuff, but it's going to be like example over example. So let me know if we have some question to.
Yes, Dimitris. Yes. Is asking, since you used the hair module, why didn't you use the wave analysis showed? I wasn't paying attention, so I wouldn't know. That's number one. And number two is whatever works is the best solution. That's the rule. Whatever works
Yeah,
is the best solution.
probably we
Oliver.
can deep into that question. I mean, you have a very good point in terms of when you need to do something. At some point, you need to make it work. That is the most important part of our job. Okay, so if you sometimes we do grass or whatever that we need to do with the hair system, but sometimes we're going to do it with the cloner, and sometimes we're going to do it with particles. And then we're going to put some meshes or objects into the particles. It's going to be something like it's related with the with time that you have, and also with the optimization that you want for your scene. That is super important for us. So at the end of the day, you can have this kind of hair. We are using actually here, we say we name it grass. But some other in other projects we use just a cloner with a leaf inside, because for some reason that could be better for the purpose that you are seeking at that moment. Okay, so it's not a thing that you need to do it in just one way. You need to find your way. That's why the baker metaphor for me works very well, because it's a magical kitchen. You can have a lot of different ingredients to make the kind of the same thing, and the flavor is going to be different at some point, but it depends of the chef. It depends of the artist. And in this case, this guy used this grass, or this module. In other cases could be other. So for instance, talking about that, you can use, let me go to the column here, over here, and I'm gonna turn off the rest just to, or maybe solo this one. No, here's it. You can make particles here. So let's go to simulate. Mesh emitter. Let's see if it's already working. Let's go to the particle group. We're gonna make this a little bit bigger just to see it. See the particles. See? And what about if we go to the emission mode? We're going to put like, I don't know, 10,000 without any kind of speed or velocity. So we're gonna stick our particles into our guy. Of course, we need two things here. We need a modifier, which is called stick. Let's go here, and we need to put to this guy a collision tag collider. Am I right, Noseman? I'm doing it well. Are you happy with me here?
Oliver, you know how much I trust you. So when you hear me say I trust you, that means that I'm not paying attention. Just keep doing what you're doing. But Oliver, of course I trust you. I would never second guess your work.
So answering the question, you see that right now I quote unquote clone particles into this model, and I can start to modify these clones in different ways. So that's why the beauty of Cinema 4D, in my opinion, is to have this whole. I mean, there's a lot of different tools that you can use for doing that, and you can grab this particle group, and you can again go to the cloner, and you are going to go to the object mode. You're going to put the particle group over here, and if I put some spheres inside the clone, we're going to have another way to clone things into the golem. See? So we can set a velocity stretch in this case. So let me go into the sphere. I'm gonna put just 10 and make it shrink a little. So the only thing that you need to fix here is to go here to make the whole thing work
I'm
properly.
having ideas. I'm having ideas for the next
I know
maximum
that.
competition. In case anyone missed it, go check the satisfying render. The challenge finished and the prizes were handed out and all that. Go check it out. It was promoted by Maxon and the Corridor crew and all that. Actually, this looks like a great idea, providing a cool animation and then just using procedural ways to do what you want to do. That's tell me in the comments if that sounds like an interesting idea.
Yeah,
Come on, yeah.
of sure. Of course. That is a very good idea. And yeah, the thing is that why you probably could use particles, for instance, instead of cloner in this case. Probably because you can go into the, let me show the whole group just for the sake of the velocity on the viewport. So for the cloners and all the MoGraph generators, you have a lot of effectors, but also you have a lot of different modifiers for particles. So at some point, if you want to, I don't know, for instance, want to um, change the aspect of the behavior of these particles with these modifiers, you're going to use particles. It's a better way to do that. For instance, if we put another stick, I'm gonna do the following. Let's go to the simulate conditions. I'm gonna put a field condition, which is super, yeah, it's going to be clearer if we use a field condition. I'm gonna put a field condition over here in the particle group, right at after the stick, and in the field condition, I'm going to put the other stick. I'm gonna rename this as unstick. Let's go here and gonna press the mode unstick. So at some point, I can bring back my, oh, yes, because I don't have any field working here. So I'm gonna put a plane or a linear field here. Let me go here. I'm gonna do the following. So it should be like the other way around. There you go. So what I'm going to do here is to let's add a force, which is going to be simulate forces, gravity. So I'm going to animate the, why I'm not looking at the field? Because I have a pressed or something. Oh, yes. I'm gonna look at the field. I'm gonna animate this from here to here. So if everything goes well, you have these kind of things, you know? That's why you use either cloner or particles, or you're going to use the grass or the hair system to clone things. Because I know that I can do this kind of stuff with particles. Probably if I want to have like gravel or little pebbles falling when this guy is running, I'm gonna use particles instead of cloner. And we can use both, actually. You can find a way, a workaround using just cloner to do kind of the same thing. But I know that if I go with particles, I'm going to have more space to play with the amount of particles, how the particles behave compared to the age of the particles, of the velocity of the particles. That kind of stuff is the thing that is useful when you have the amount of tools that we have right now. I don't know if that answered the question, but I think that is a pretty visual way to show how or why you could go either way, you know.
Nobody cares about the question because what you're showing is very, very cool. So it's fantastic.
Do you have any more questions? The
Let's
show is
see.
called Master Trainer, right? or not?
Yeah. And you as a trainer has been throwing out advice. Saraba was asking, um, why not use a matrix scatter and push the heavy work to the render farm instead of using hair system in Sinnoh, which is pretty old. Uh, in my view, it's because it works. And
Again, you can do. I have a whole series in the university side talking about the power of matrices and the power of the matrix object, using it in a very in a bunch of different ways. But the thing with here, for instance, is that, let me go to here. This kind of stuff, for example, the guy who did this, let me go here and here. This guy is an expert in her here. It's called Rodrigo. We call it Gijo. And you can find the best simulation over the internet about hair or hairstyling or whatever. And this guy managed to do everything in Cinema 4D. Even when it's old. Old doesn't mean always that it's not good enough, you know. The hair system in Cinema 4D is still, from my perspective, is one of the robust hair system in the world. I mean, or in any kind of DCC. Of course, because it's old, some things are not there yet or not that easy to do. But in the other hand, we manage here in I believe to do almost anything on that engine, and we work a lot with characters. If you see our reels, there's a lot of different things with hair that still work and works perfectly. It's stable, it's good, and you can see in this example. For instance, in 12, you have the voxelization, which is purely matrices. If I remember well, that was Rataron Works, one of our colleagues called Aaron. And again, you can be creative enough with different tools. That's matrices. The other one above is hair. The other one is pyro, you know. And the 8 is like a simulation, a cloud simulation or something, you know. So it's not about why you don't use this or this. You need to find the way for you to work, in terms of, if hair is working, it's not breaking anything on the scene, let's go with that, you know.
I
That is
want to say something. Yeah, I
yeah,
want to
go
say
ahead.
something. Because not many people are aware of that. You, of course, Oliver, being part of it, because Oliver is one of our best beta testers as well. That while hair is old, I think it was 8 months ago or less than a year ago, it received a very significant update in the terms of, while everything works exactly the same, it's now fully multi-threaded, except for there's one operation that's not multi-threaded. I can't remember which one it is. But if you compare hair from a couple of years ago, the speed increase is quite significant. So it's not left to its own devices. It has been receiving attention, and it has been modernized in terms of how it works. So yeah, it's still one of those amazing tools that can facilitate all sorts of things. I'm pretty sure that most people, including myself, are not aware of all the stuff that hair can do. You can grow hair on splines. You can make feathers. You can. There are so many things about hair. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, and that happened because let me go back into my Cinema 4D. That happened because hair is integrated with the rest of the modules. That's the thing. So that's why we use it a lot as well, because you can. One of the beauty of this, and I have been using a lot of different tools, but if you go again with this guy, and right now this is a loopable thing, which is also a collider, but you can go and maybe use this to grow hair, but at the same time to make particles, and at the same time you can I don't know, paint some vertex information over here. Let's go to the points. Sorry, points. And if you go here and set vertex weight, you have a vertex map over here, and so you can work with shading, or you can set to the particles just get the emission should be only on this part. Same with the hair system. So everything is integrated. That is the beauty of this. Or at the same way that we restrict with fields, we can go here and put probably a displacer again. Go to shading. I'm just going to displace everything with a color like this. Where's the displacer? Oop, see, but you can restrict that with a vertex map, and you can make this vertex map grow with a, I don't know, with an effect here. Could be the which one is the freeze one, but in another mode, blending layer, and grow. So you see right now it's growing too fast. But if I go here and put 2, no, I'm gonna put 5, and the effect strength is going to be decreased. And look at that. The golem is growing in certain way. We go here, 5. Oh no, put 20 just to make it noticeable. And at the same time, because it's a collider, the particles are trying to follow the mesh. So the amount of things that you can do with this transformation or effects or whatever you want to do is endless. As I said in the presentation, I mean, you have like 30 plus generators and 50 plus deformers and 20 plus effectors. And then I didn't count, for instance, the modifiers in this one with particles, which can also affect the mesh. Okay, so from my point of view, that's the biggest reason why we use Synophory as a hub, because we can grab a lot of information from other DCCs. For instance, if you work with Houdini, you can have particles in Alembic format, and you can read it and affect it with our system, because our system read particles in an ABC format. They actually produce an ABC if you cache, right? Am I right, Noseman? I know that, but I just want to you mean?
Yeah. You just want to bug me because I'm
exactly.
working.
You are working in something. I know that you are looking. You leave me here with the guys trying to explain
No,
things.
I'm answering a question.
You are having fun with the model that I gave you.
I want to put this here. I'm impressed by how much Noseman talks about hair. Of course, maybe one day I'm going to post a photo of my head in my late teens, early 20s. You'll be amazed. It was back then. It was Afro time. I had a big, thick, curly head. So there's a nice question here by Yundas. I have a question about hair and redshift. Can I tweak the thickness of hair with a noise? So there's organic variation abstract setups. As far as I know, not in redshift, but you can do it in the hair object. Do you know anything different, Oliver?
Not in the hair object. You're talking about the thickness, right?
Right. So
yeah, it's the hair material, the one that
the hair material, exactly. Yeah. So let's take this hair, and I think we're coming. Oh my God, we've been running late, but that's what happens when you're having a good time. So let's make all this hair here. Let's go to the hair, and let's go to the hair's roots as guides, just to have fewer hairs. This is going to create as guides, I thought I said that. Now, look at the thickness of the hair. If you go to the material here, the thickness, you can see it's from 1 to 0.1. So let's make this 20. You'll see it's going to be very thick. And what you could do here is you can actually play around with this. You just control click to add things. So there are ways to make your hair all sorts of, and because I'm not an artist, I do things. Actually, that doesn't look bad.
You can play with the variation as well, with the variation right below root. Right below.
Yeah, you can scale. You can do all sorts of. Well, what I'm saying is that the hair material, the changes you do here, to a great extent, propagate to the redshift hair. So don't be afraid to go here and play around with these things and get your hair. If you have something else, I'm going to remove my screen and add yours, and maybe you have something else to add to this.
No, I just want to point out maybe something similar to what you just showed, but I want to go deep into that. Let's go to create a hair object over and simulate hair object here. Okay. When you have a selection, the hair object automatically goes on that selection. Okay. So let's go to the hair object. We're gonna put in 50, something like that. We can go into let's go directly to the material, which is this one. The other thing that you can do is to, if you want to look at the hair on the viewport, you can go here, and in the viewport, just put hair polygons. So you're going to have the actual hair. If you want, and this is the thing that Thanasis Noseman was saying about the multi-thread thing. Right now, you can work with this in a very, very fast way. Time ago wasn't the case. So let me go here. I'm gonna make less hairs. You go just 100. Go here, and about the thickness, let's go to 5 and 5, and you can have this variation over here. So you already have variation between the hairs. Okay, so some of them are going to be fully 5. You can also play with the curve, as Nancy said. But the thing is that if you want to have this in a mesh form, not only on the redshift side, you can go to generate over here like an instance or a flat geometry. So now this is real geometry on the viewport. So you can play with it if you make it editable, or you can have one thing that I usually I used to do a lot. This is to make some splines. Go to put less hair, 500. That's in the case.
Yeah, the hair object is actually a cloner. It can
Exactly.
you can clone any object as an individual hair. You can model. That's why you can model braids, for example. You can create 3 or 4 different hair objects on the same on the same mesh. You can use a different, let's say, braid or something like that for each and every one of the hairs. There's an enormous amount of things you can do. And although I am considered, kind of I know hair quite a bit, obviously, I still don't know half of what can be done with hair. All these years, it's been there for the best part of 15 years or more. There are tons of stuff. You can use it as cloner. You can use it to do.
You can do this.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. We have.
We have like what is this, right? Yeah. Let me go here and just going to. The fun thing here is to, if I remember well, we're taking the thickness of the material. If I remember well, if it's not, I can make this editable. So talking about the cloner, right now we are using, maybe this is not the best example. Let me go with a cylinder, just with a cylinder or something like that. Let me go to the cylinder here.
Plus
and yeah, the thing is that.
Oh, there you go.
So what I'm trying to say is that you can have like the amount of combinations that you have is ridiculous. Right now, we are looking at the cylinder being cloned by the hair object and being deformed like you're looking at right now. Let me go to the less segments via this spline wrap, because I'm generating splines over here. So with the hair object, I'm generating splines, and then that spline is going to be used with this spline wrap, which is at the same time, because we are having one spline object, but with different segments, the cylinder is cloning into these segments. So that's why this is real actual geometry. It's not the thing that you see on the render, on the Redshift render. See, so this kind of stuff make this kind of work really, really fun in some way, but also you can do almost whatever you want, mixing these things. I'm talking about the mesh, the hair system, the particles, the spline wrap, the cylinder, which is still primitive, so I can still change that, fully procedural. So that is the beauty of this kind of toolkit that we have.
Yeah, one final thing based on a question we have here. Let me find it. We're further down. So, of course, yeah, that's Noseman. His turn is right there. Exactly. Now, can you use a hair material object on a spline? The answer is no. Well, the answer is no. It has to be a hair object, but we can use hair to generate on a single spline, a single hair. So there are many different ways you can do this. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe I can do a quick tip or two. There was a quick tip today. I don't even remember what I did. But in any case, I think do you have anything else to show? Because I think we need to wrap it up. We surpassed an hour and a half.
I mean, I can make examples of this like the whole day, because you can play with this whatever you want, making or putting some deformers and generators on an Alembic file. The beauty and the bottom line here is because Alembic is pure data, Cine4D is especially good for working with that format, because you have data that you can transform in a procedural way. That's why we can say that that's why Cine4D is a very good hub to work on.
Now, there's one more final question before we close. Can we make Plex effect with tracer that react? No, we cannot, but we have a capsule for that. So it's called Network. Just go to your asset browser and search for the word network. And it's a Rocket Lasso capsule, and you should be able to connect.
Is that one? Is the interconnect one?
I think it's called interconnect. Maybe mine was called, because I was doing experiments. If you dabble with nodes, you can actually do that. But
let me.
Okay. We need to wrap it up. To wrap it up. So the first thing I want to do is, Oliver, I want to thank you for being here. So I'm going to go to the other side. There you go. So now it appears that I'm looking at you. But on the other side. So first of all, I want to thank you very much for showing us your incredible work and your inspired workflows. Congratulations again to mostly your team and you as well for the astonishing work.
Very good point.
Done, and all the stuff that people see on television every day, which you're not allowed to talk about, correct? You can neither confirm or deny that. Sorry.
Exactly.
What you saw today, ladies and gents, is a very small part of what Believe Studio is working on, because it's working on amazing stuff that reach billions of people. So congratulations. I've taken a sneak peek. Rest assured, we are going to see more great creative stuff coming from that studio. It only gets better, and Oliver's hair only gets whiter as a consequence of that.
You're the opposite one, right? You're going in the other way around.
Yeah, I'm getting my whites on the bottom side. I'm going to turn to a bald Santa Claus or something like that.
I just want to say a final thing, and I just want to give a special thanks to our team here at Believe, everyone, especially to my look dev team, which is our amazing artists, and without them, we're not be able to do anything or any of the stuff that you already saw on the reel and that kind of stuff. They are amazing artists, and I'm really proud of them. So special thanks and greetings for them.
Okay, let me do a quick housekeeping and present some links and all that. So I need to remove this and add this. They've changed some stuff there. Okay, let me make our faces a bit smaller. There we go. So I'm going to paste the link because I did ask someone. I asked if there are any. There was a comment about Cinema 4D's modeling tools being not as good as blenders and so forth. I would like to know what what exactly we're talking about here, and see if there are any unknown things. Because uh, while we may not have the best of all modeling tools, our modeling tools are quite good. So yeah. Anyway, in this link I just sent, which is this page over here. Down here, there's a Max and Master Trainer questions. It will be nice. That's a nice way to make sure that something is going to reach me. I read all these questions, and it's a nice page to go to using this link here, so that Maxon knows where you found this link from. It's very good for the show and for myself to be known where people are getting the information. But here you have a little hub where you can go to the events page, which is this one over here, and it tells you what's going on, any tutorials going on. Oh, and by the way, go watch this series if you may. It's very interesting, and it uses very simple techniques, just splines, instances, and MoGraph to create amazing things, very similar to what MC Escher does. And there's a bunch of scenes you can go and download. The links are in the description. So go check that out. And of course, go check out all the events. I mean, who works these days? Just go and watch events. And that's the fun. And you can always say that you're learning. By the way, there's a project downloads page, which is in the description text below. And I just add everything. The Ask the Trainer, if there are any files, quick tips. You can see here there's a bunch of quick tips project files. And not only that, I have the mechanical rigging series here. So you can, anyway, just go here, spend a few hours, download everything you can, check them out, ask your questions. Of course, you're going to look at these guys. I mean, Zoolander has nothing for us. Go check out quick tips and tutorials at the Maxon Training Team YouTube channel. Go check out Rodolfo Silva and his amazing ZBrush tutorials. At the same time, you can go to the Maxon YouTube channel and check out presentations and stuff like that. Yeah, amazing stuff. You can see the great work from people that present for us. And of course, if you haven't done so thus far, go learn ZBrush so that you can, sit on your couch with a ZBrush on the iPad and make masterpieces. Yeah, brilliant stuff over here as well. Finally, go to Cineversity and check out everything new. Go check out Autograph, is a full procedural compositor, layers and all that, which is free. Just download it and go start compositing and tell us if we're doing a good job or not. Anyway, that's just about it. Let me bring up faces over here. Don't know if I forgot anything. I muted Oliver because he was typing on his very noisy. It's fine. So again, first of all, Oliver, thank you very much for honoring us with your presence and your knowledge. Check out. Oh, you didn't post a link to the studio or anything like that. Can you type it quickly in the comments?
Yep. Actually, I sent it to you like 1 minute up, but I can join the chat now.
You sent it to me already.
Yeah.
Did you do such a thing?
Yeah.
A link. I don't see a link
on the chat.
Oh, on the okay. Here we go. So copy link. Let's go to the comment and paste it. There we go. Believe.tv. Go check it out. Thank you again, everybody, for hanging out with us. I'm going to press a button and we're going to have the closer. There's a QR code if you want to hit it. Take care, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Oliver, stick with me. Don't go anywhere.